Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most profound and, let's be honest, mysterious concepts in Islamic metaphysics, the ruh, or the spirit. This is really a journey into the very architecture of our inner world. So let's just jump right in with the puzzle from the Quran itself. You see, when the Prophet Muhammad was asked about the nature of the spirit, the answer he got back wasn't some long, complex, detailed breakdown. It was this, a short, powerful, and kind of enigmatic statement. And what's so remarkable here is that this is unique. Scholars point out this isn't just an evasion, it's a deliberate, intentional act of withholding information. It's like a divine statement that some realities are veiled by design. And that concealment? Well, that's the beginning of the lesson itself. So you have to ask, why? Why conceal the nature of the very thing that makes us who we are? Well, this single question is our key. It's the key to unlocking a really sophisticated map of our inner world, a map that classical Islamic thinkers spent centuries charting out. So before we can even begin to understand the ruh, we first have to appreciate the wisdom in not knowing everything. The journey to figuring out what is the spirit actually begins with understanding why the full answer was hidden from us in the first place. Okay, let's get to the map itself. To navigate this inner landscape, Islamic metaphysics gives us 4 key landmarks. Think of them as 4 distinct but totally interconnected realities that exist inside every single one of us. First, at our very core, is the ruh. And this isn't just some poetic metaphor. It's understood as a literal, actual infusion from a higher reality, the divine breath that animates our being and plugs us directly into the sacred. Next up is the nafs. You can think of this as your psychological self, your ego. It's the home base for your personality, your desires, and it's the arena for all your moral and spiritual struggles. It's not an enemy to be destroyed, but really the terrain of your personal journey toward growth. Then we have the qalb, the spiritual heart. And what's so cool is that the word itself comes from a root meaning to turn or to flip, which just perfectly describes its nature. It's always in motion, turning between the light of the ruh and the pull of the nafs. This is the true center of our spiritual perception. And finally, there's the aql, the intellect. This is our faculty of reason and logic, and it's highly, highly honored as a tool for understanding the world around us. But, and this is a big but, classical masters were very clear. The intellect is a map. It is not the destination. It can get you to the door, but it can't walk you through it. Now here's where it all clicks into place. These 4 dimensions aren't separate things. They are deeply woven together. Just look at this. Notice how the ruh comes from a higher, non-material reality, while the nafs and the aql belong to our created material world. And the qalb, the heart, it sits right at the intersection. It's literally the meeting point of heaven and earth inside of you. Okay, so to solve that central mystery of why the ruh was concealed, we need to understand a really important distinction that classical scholars made about reality itself. You could call it a tale of 2 worlds. They taught that reality basically exists on 2 levels. You have the world of creation, that's our physical universe, governed by a cause and effect, time, matter. This is the domain of the intellect. But then there's the world of command, a higher, non-material reality that operates by direct divine decree. Things like angels, revelation, and, you guessed it, the ruh. They all come from this other world. And this, right here, brilliantly answers our initial question. The ruach is hidden from the full grasp of our intellect because it doesn't belong to our dimension of reality. Trying to fully comprehend it with our reason alone is like trying to measure light with a ruler. The tool just isn't designed for the task. All right, let's shift gears a bit. How does this abstract map connect to a deeply universal human feeling? I'm talking about that sense of longing, that feeling that something's missing, even when life is full. The great mystical poet Rumi captured this feeling perfectly. He used the metaphor of a reed flute, which can only make its beautiful music because it was cut from its home, the reed bed. So its beautiful, melancholic sound is actually a cry of separation, a constant, aching desire to go back to where it came from. I mean, have you ever felt that? An inexplicable ache? Or maybe a homesickness for a place you've never even been? Well, Islamic spirituality has a name for this, Haneen. It's the echo of the ruh, your spirit, remembering its true home and just longing to return. Now, this deep-seated longing isn't random. It's believed to come from a primordial memory, from a pre-eternal event where every single human spirit gathered before God and made a kind of covenant. According to this verse, every soul already testified to its creator before ever coming into this world. And this idea, well, it changes everything. It means the spiritual path isn't a journey to discover something new, but a journey to remember what your spirit already knows deep down. So, the big question is, why does this ancient map of the soul matter for us today, right here, right now? I mean, what's the practical takeaway from all of this? It matters because it shows us that to be a complete human being, we need to walk two different paths at the exact same time. We have to discipline the ego, the nafs, through things like self-control and good character. But at the same time, we have to nourish the spirit, the ruh, with practices like meditation, love, and remembrance that connect us to something higher. One without the other is totally incomplete. In our spiritual heart, the qalb, that's the arena where this whole inner struggle for balance plays out. Every single choice we make, every action we take, is either polishing the mirror of the heart, making it more reflective of the spirit's light, or it's allowing another layer of rust to build up, covering that light. So ultimately, this ancient map isn't just about intellectually knowing what the ruh is. It's really an invitation. It's an invitation to listen to that inner longing, to polish that inner mirror, and to turn our gaze inward. The final question it leaves us with isn't what is the spirit, but something more like, am I listening to mine?